Hi, Gretel. It's Mee-maw. I got to hear you speak to you yesterday when you were busy at the sink, and I learned that you are now big enough to turn the tap on all by yourself. That's exciting. Oh, Daisy says that's exciting. She says, can Gretel really do that? Is Gretel really got long enough arms and she's strong enough that she can turn the tap on in the kitchen? And Daisy says, I have a very long arm, but I can't turn the tap on in the kitchen. Gretel must be very strong. Now, I have a book for you today, and you know this story, so because you have this. It is Strega Nona, and the book got a special award called the Caldecott Honor Medal, and so it's here on the book to say this is a very excellent book. Let's see, I think the pictures and the story are both by Tommy DePaola, who's the author. Oh, here we go. Now, my copy of it is also special in another way, because if you look at the bottom, it says Scholastic ink, which means this particular copy was printed so that it wouldn't cost very much money and boys and girls could buy it at school. Yeah. In a town in Calabria a long time ago, there lived an old lady everyone called Strega Nona, which meant Grandma Witch. Although all the people in town talked about her in whispers, they all went to see her if they had troubles. Even the priest and the sisters of the convent went, because Strega Nona did have a magic touch. Now, Gretel, do you have any troubles today? If you have a trouble, what trouble would you like to take to Strega Nona if you could? She could cure a headache with oil and water and a hairpin. She made special potions for the girls who wanted husbands, and she was very good at getting rid of warts. But Strega Nona was getting old, and she needed someone to help her keep her little house and garden. So she put up a sign in the town square. And Big Anthony, who didn't pay attention, went to see her. Anthony, said Strega Nona, you must sweep the house and wash the dishes. You must weed the garden and pick the vegetables. You must feed the goat and milk her. And you must fetch the water. For this, I will give you 3 coins and a place to sleep and food to eat. Oh, grazie, said Big Anthony. The one thing you must never touch, said Strega Nona. The one thing you must never do is touch the pasta pot. It is very valuable, and I don't let anyone touch it. Oh, see, yes, said Big Anthony. And another time, Gretel, I will show you what I don't let anybody touch in my house. It's not a magic pasta pot, it's a green teapot. And so the days went by. Big Anthony did his work, and Strega Nona met with the people who came to see her for headaches and husbands and warts. Big Anthony had a nice bed to sleep in next to the goat shed, and he had food to eat. One evening, when Big Anthony was milking the goat, he heard Strega singing. Peeking in the window, he saw Strega standing over the pasta pot. And if you look here, there you can see her with her eyes shut, singing. Your mother is a good singer, is she not, Gretel? She sang, "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up." And the pasta pot bubbled and boiled and was suddenly filled with steaming hot pasta. And then Strega sang, "Enough, enough, pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." "How wonderful," said Big Anthony to himself. "That's a magic pot for sure." And Strega called Big Anthony in for supper. But too bad for Big Anthony, because he didn't see Strega blow 3 kisses to the magic pasta pot. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And this is what happened. The next day, when Big Anthony went to the town square to fetch the water, he told everyone about the pasta pot. And naturally, everyone laughed at him because it sounded so silly. A pot that cooked all by itself. "Huh. You'd better go and confess to the priest, Big Anthony," they said. "You're telling such a lie." And Big Anthony was angry. And that wasn't a very good thing to be for him that day. "I'll show them," he said to himself. "Someday I will get the magic pasta pot and make it cook, and then they'll be sorry." That day came sooner than even Big Anthony would have thought, because 2 days later, Strega said to Big Anthony, "I must go over the mountain to the next town to see my friend, Strega Amelia. Sweep the house and weed the garden. Feed the goat and milk her. And for your lunch, there are some bread and cheese in the cupboard. And remember, don't touch the pasta pot." "Oh, yes, yes, Strega," said Big Anthony. But inside he was thinking, "My chance has come." And you can see the way Tommy DePaola showed us that Big Anthony was thinking of the pot by putting it in a bubble there by his head. As soon as Strega was out of sight on her way to visit her friend, Big Anthony went inside, pulled the pasta pot off the shelf, and put it on the floor. "Now let's see if I can remember the words," said Big Anthony. And Big Anthony sang, "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up." And sure enough, the pot bubbled and boiled and filled with pasta. "Aha," said Big Anthony, and he ran to the town square, jumped on the fountain, and shouted, "Everyone, get forks and plates and platters and bowls. Pasta for all at Strega house. Big Anthony has made the magic pasta pot work." Of course, everyone laughed, but ran home to get forks and plates and platters and bowls. And sure enough, when they got to Strega Nona's house, the pasta pot was so full, it was beginning to overflow. They must have believed Big Anthony a little bit, or they wouldn't have gone and gotten their forks and bowls. Big Anthony was a hero. He scooped out pasta and he filled all the plates and platters and bowls, and there was more than enough for all the townspeople, including the priest and the sisters from the convent. And some people came back for second or third helpings, but the pot was never empty. When all had had their fill, Big Anthony sang, "Enough, enough, pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." But alas, he did not blow the 3 kisses. You can see now the book, Gretel, is right in the middle because you can see the staples. Can you see? 1, 2, 3, and they're a bit rusted because the book is so old. And because this book was printed before your mummy was born, I'm pretty sure this is the actual book that I read this to your mummy with. Back to our story. Big Anthony went outside, and to the applause of the crowd, Big Anthony took a bow. He was so busy listening to the compliments from everyone that he didn't notice the pasta pot was still bubbling and boiling until a sister from the convent said, "Oh, Big Anthony, look." And pasta was pouring out of the pot all over the floor of Strega Nona's house and was coming out the door. Big Anthony rushed in and he shouted the magic words again. But the pot kept bubbling. He took the pot off the floor, but pasta kept on pouring from it. Big Anthony grabbed a cover and put it on the pot and sat on it. But the pasta raised the cover and Big Anthony as well and spilled on the floor of Strega Nona's house. It looks like waves and oceans of pasta, doesn't it? Oh, even more so as we read. "Stop!" yelled Big Anthony. But the pasta did not stop, and if someone hadn't grabbed poor Big Anthony, the pasta would have covered him up. The pasta had all but filled the little house. Out of the windows and through the doors came the pasta, and the pot kept right on bubbling. The townspeople began to worry. "Do something, Big Anthony," they shouted. Big Anthony sang the magic song again, but without the 3 kisses, it did no good. By this time, the pasta was on its way down the road, and all the people were running to get ahead of the pasta. "We must protect our town from the pasta," shouted the mayor. "Get mattresses, tables, doors, anything to make a barricade. A wall, anything." But even that didn't work. The pot kept bubbling, and the pasta kept coming. "We are lost," said the people, and the priest and the sisters of the convent began praying. "The pasta will entirely cover our town." And it certainly would have, had Strega Nona not come down the road home from her visit. There she is. She didn't have to look twice to know what had happened. She sang the magic song and blew the 3 kisses, and with a sputter, the pot stopped boiling and the pasta came to a halt. Oh, grazie, thank you, Strega Nona, the people cried. But then they turned on poor Big Anthony. Look what he's done. String him up, shouted the townspeople. Which meant punish him. Now wait, said Strega Nona. The punishment must fit the crime. And she took a fork from a lady standing nearby and she held it out to Big Anthony. All right, Anthony, you wanted pasta from my magic pasta pot, Strega Nona said, and I want to sleep in my little bed tonight, so start eating. And he did. Poor Big Anthony. Eating the river of pasta. And so Strega Nona got to sleep in her little bed, and poor Big Anthony had a sore stomach. Yes, you know that story already. This is not the first time you've heard it. But it's the first time you've heard it from Mee-maw. So I enjoyed reading that to you, Gretel. And now I'm going to feed Daisy, but I'm not going to feed her pasta. I'm going to feed her cat food. She likes fish. Okay, darling, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you in a month. I love you. Bye for now, Gretel. 1, 2, 3.